Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me for a COMC rummage video. Haven't done one of these in a while, but I am a frequent purchaser of cards on COMC and have quite a backlog here of cards that have come in my last few shipments that I kind of need to process and get sorted into the collection. So every so often I will grab a little stack of them and just do a rummage here on the channel and then move those cards into my sort of formal, organized collection. So grabbed, I think this was about 15 cards here today. Most all of these are from new orders, which you can tell from the little paper insert, but I do have a couple at the back that are older pickups that have been kicking around a while. So let's just get into it. There's a mix of just about everything here. You know, obviously one of the reasons I love COMC is the deep variety of cards that they have available in a single site. And we're going to start with a project that I fully intend to complete this year, and that is acquiring all of the Retired Legends parallels, or I'm sorry, Retired Legends variations, I guess they would be, from 2011 Topps and 2011 Topps Update in Cognac Diamond Anniversary form. And towards that end, I have this beautiful Hank Greenberg. So just making some more progress there. These are sneakily tough and they just look incredible. I mean, you can see how that thing is catching the light here today. Just stunning cards. There are a little over 70 of those in total with respect to the retired players. And I'm getting very, very close to completing that run. So I have a couple guys left at least. There are versions out there. I'm just kind of being stubborn and not wanting to pay the asking price on them, but if it goes on long enough, I may just put them to bed, even if I overpay a little bit, because I am very determined to finish that project in this calendar year. Next up, we have a hockey card. This is one of those silver foil parallels that you can get of the modern Upper Deck hockey cards, courtesy of the EPAC promotion between Upper Deck and COMC. Not a valuable or expensive card here. I grabbed this one for the sole purpose that the Hurricanes team is in this photo sporting the Hartford Whalers sweater and gear. Obviously, Teuvo Teravainen is turned the wrong way here, so you don't see the logo on the sweater. But if you look at his helmet, you can see the Hartford Whalers W there. So I kind of count these as additions to my Hartford Whalers hockey card collection. So scoop that up for like 30 cents, happily. Here's a soccer card next. I love these select cards from Panini across all sports, and was able to get this nice silver prism of N'Golo Kanté of France here, although he plays with Chelsea in the Premier League. Obviously won a World Cup with France in the last World Cup back in 2018, and will be looking to defend that title this summer with Kylian Mbappe and his teammates. So looking forward to that tournament, and he is one of the better defenders on the globe over the last maybe 5 to 10 years, and got that silver parallel there with the beautiful, Panini shine for just pocket change. And there's not a ton of etching on this one compared to a lot of Panini products, I have to say. You can see some in the jersey and the shorts here, but overall not the most stunning Panini Select card that I've seen, but didn't cost a fortune either, and it'll look nice in the Soccer Z folio. Here's a much older soccer card. This one is now 50 years old, going all the way back to 1971. It is an A and BC footballers card, which they made a lot of soccer cards in the UK in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Got a Peter Thompson outside left back for Liverpool. Don't know the first thing about this guy. It's kind of a goofy photo, but Liverpool is my favorite present-day team. I follow them in the Premier League and the Champions League when they're fortunate enough to make it, and just thought this was a cool addition to the soccer collection. I love random stuff like this. So I'll have to do a little bit of research on Peter here, if I can find anything, and see how his Liverpool and soccer career in general went. But either way, a cool card. And again, didn't break the bank. I think that was about $1, and just thought it was a unique piece. Here is one of these holographics inserts from Upper Deck's extended series this past year, featuring Ilya Sorokin of the Islanders. Obviously got this because of the shine. At the time when I picked this up, this came in my most recent COMC delivery. At the beginning of this year, Sorokin was slaying it with the Islanders, just racking up shutouts. He was near the top of the league leaderboards for goaltending in quite a few different categories. He's since regressed a little bit. The Islanders went through a brutal stretch. He's still got like 3 shutouts and obviously is very young, so the future remains to be seen. But I thought that was a cool, shiny card. And again, thanks to, I believe, the E-Pack promotion and discounts, that was like 30 cents. So you just can't go wrong. If he turns into something, I'll be glad I got that. And if he doesn't, I'll send it to an Islanders fan and cost me, 30 cents. So can't go wrong. Got a basketball card next up. This is for the small basketball Z folio that I'm working on. Paul Pierce, one of the great Celtics players in their franchise history, guy who I saw play in person in Boston at the Garden many times over the years, and obviously was involved in bringing the most recent NBA championship to the city of Boston as well, and working on a whole page of his Prism cards in that basketball Z folio. So scoop this one up. Some great etching and shine on this compared to the Conte soccer card. And some nice Christmas colors there as well. Probably should have used that one a week or 2 back. Here's a quick baseball pickup. This is towards a project that I'm working on, completing the 2012 Topps Chrome baseball set in purple refractor form. Was luckily scored this Joe Mauer for very cheap coin. He's someone who I personally believe will get into the Hall of Fame here at some point. And so wanted to get that one knocked out of the way for that set pursuit, which is stored in my purple Z folio that houses only purple cards that I've dubbed Grimace. So I'll be showing that one off at some point when it gets a little bit more full. And Joe will be headed there after this video. Here's a quick Ovi, Alex Ovechkin card. I have committed to showing a new Ovechkin every time he scores this year on the channel, but I have enough backlog that pretty confident I can get through the rest of the season, and decided to leave this one in the stack when I pulled it out of the box. This is a Game Breakers insert out of Upper Deck Victory. Upper Deck Victory is a very low-end product. I'm not sure if they still make it, but it was kind of the lowest of the low. Retail only, I believe, 99-cent pack price point, certainly at the point, in time when this card came out. But I picked this one up because it's from 2007, so it's a 3rd-year Ovechkin insert, and, I wouldn't normally really buy any other player from an insert set like this, but being an Ovi fan and Ovi collector, thought that was cool enough to scoop up for, once again, pocket change. I mean, really, the theme of today's episode is none of these cards were expensive. I think there's one exception that I'll touch on in a moment, but every other one of these, I think, cost like $1 or less, so not too bad. Here's an Allure card from the first edition of the Allure set, which came out in 2019. It's a nice red rainbow Leon Dreissitel. I've shown at least other iterations of this card before, I believe, like a white rainbow. I'll buy these parallels all day long when I find them cheap, and I have been doing so. I think this cost me 75 cents. That is just criminal for a guy of Leon's talent level who is atop or near the league leaderboard, season after season, pretty much. We're going to move back to baseball now for a minute. And this is the one sort of expensive card in today's grouping. A beautiful Ichiro with the Mariners Sapphire. Topps Chrome Sapphire from the 2020 Chrome Sapphire update set. I've talked about this exact card before. Reason being, I picked this up on COMC. Thought I got a really great deal on it, but then I ended up seeing an even cheaper copy on eBay that I couldn't resist. So I got the eBay copy in first, since COMC takes a little while, and it turns out this is now kind of a dupe for my collection. But as far as duplicates go, I will certainly hang on to this one, stash it in a box. I think this is a card that could increase in value someday. I paid less than $10 for this, but still, more for this than any other card in today's post by quite a bit. But I love Ichiro, and I think he's, due for a lot more hobby attention as he approaches his eventual enshrinement the next couple of years. And it's really hard to go wrong with the Sapphire line of cards just in general. So I'm happy to have 2 copies of that one. No regrets there. Here's another Cognac Diamond Anniversary to go with that Hank Greenberg that we started with. Bert Blyleven with the Twins. Pretty neat card there. Could have sworn I had this one already, but when I assembled all of my Cognac parallels and got everything organized and sorted them, I found that I was missing Bert, so went and solved that. He's one of the cheaper Hall of Famers as far as this parallel goes, so this was less than $1. Here's a hockey player that I believe in quite a bit. I was actually having a conversation recently with my pal Peeps over at Peeps Wax Packs, or just Peeps now, I guess, on YouTube, about whether or not this guy is arguably the best American-born hockey player in history, and that is Patrick Keynes. This is a nice rainbow parallel out of O-Pee-Chee Platinum. This is the 2019 release. I think he's right in the mix as far as best American-born hockey players in history. I mean, he's not done yet, so it remains to be seen kind of where his career numbers end up and his counting stats and things like that. But a leader on a 3-time championship, Stanley Cup championship team, and perennial high scorer in the NHL, and someone who I know has had some off the ice issues quite a ways back in his past, but despite that, I think is a little bit underappreciated in the hobby. So can't go wrong scooping up some Pat Kane. Next up, this is a quick one here for a set pursuit. Really determined in 2022, above all else, to make really good progress on my 1950s baseball card collection. And a big part of that is the 59 Topps set that I am working on in a binder. Needed this nice yellow R.C. Stevens with the Pirates. So scoop that one up, and he'll be heading into that set build. Here's another nice shiny. Because this is Panini, this is known as cracked ice, but it's basically Atomic from their lone standalone select release back in 2013 when they had a license to do hockey cards. Tim Thomas. He's pictured here with the unfamiliar Dallas Stars. This is a late career card as Timmy was kind of bouncing around the league towards the end. But I've always adored this guy just because in his time with the Bruins, he was one of the most dominating goaltenders that I've ever seen play with my own two eyes. Just almost Dominic Hasek-like, just sprawling all over the ice, unconventional form, but always found a way to stop the puck. And of course was a big part of the team that delivered the Stanley Cup championship to the city of Boston back in 2011. He was the starter for that entire playoff run. And I think I can say confidently that the Bruins would not have won that Stanley Cup without Tim Thomas. So I respect the man and can't turn down a nice shiny card of him as such. And then the final card is just another one towards that 50s project that I mentioned. Nothing fantastic here, but just a decent looking 58 Don Gross. I'd love to maybe someday complete a 58 top set, but it's just not at the top of my list. I'm working on 53, 55, and 59, and I have my hands full with those three right now, as you might imagine. But nonetheless, if I see a common that's relatively well-centered and in good shape like this, and the price is right, and I have some available credit, no harm in tossing that into the cart, and I'm sure it'll come in useful down the line. Anytime I can increase the number of unique 1950s Topps baseball cards in my collection by one, that's pretty much a win no matter what. So there you have it. A whole lot of shiny up in the background, some vintage laying down in front of it, and covered, I think, the at least 3 of the 4 major sports, and good kind of random slice of the variety that tends to come in my COMC purchases. So I hope you enjoyed this little rummage. Certainly welcome any feedback in the comments below. And in the meantime, I'll be back in the very near future with some more sports card content. Until then, take care, everybody.